And now, a special edition of the Toddcast podcast.
Powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, providing complete financing and mortgage services for residential and small commercial businesses. Visit them at citywidemortgage.ca.
Now, here's your host, Todd Hancock.
If you had to pick one career highlight, what immediately comes to mind? Like, we all have them, right? Personally, having worked in terrestrial radio in BC for almost 20 years, 15 of those at one of Canada's best rock stations, 99.3, the Fox, C-Fox here in Vancouver, there are lots of things to kind of pick from. Winning awards, being part of a ratings juggernaut, we clobbered every station. Hosting world album premieres with Metallica, Nickelback, Velvet Revolver, something about hanging out with Slash and Duff McKagan all days. Yeah, I'll take one of those again. Flying first class to Dublin, Ireland, did my radio show from the Jameson Whiskey Distillery a couple years in a row, broadcasting from the Irish House for the duration of the 2010 Winter Olympics. And of course, this podcast is a career highlight. After being shown the corporate door in the summer of 14, we fired up the cast in January of 15, and we're into year 9. Crazy how time flies. My name is Todd Hancock, and that is what this week is all about. You'll hear from 12 past guests as they share their career highlight stories, and we'll get to some of our musical guests in just a second. Coming up shortly, in Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, 10-time kickboxing champ John Wayne Parr, JWP, talking about the first time that he became a world champion. That is powered by our good friends at FKP MMA. They've signed on as a podcast sponsor for the duration, all of 2023. Lots of love for Mr. Franco and his outstanding team. Learn self-defense, build your self-esteem, meet new friends, and get some pretty good exercise in the due process. Find out why they're Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com. First, let's get to some career highlight stories from past musical guests, all of whom are powered by Vibe Cave Studios in East Vancouver. If you're looking for someone to mix a song, it's there. It just needs a little know-how. Get in touch with Braden. Pockets, they call them. And you get a 15% discount for any paid referrals. So keep that in mind. We're hanging out with Braden just a little while back, playing a bunch of stuff for us, all sorts of genres as well. Check out a bit of a song he shot us on an email from Kim Mortal called Longing.
For that love that picks me up and takes me higher. I am longing, 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 longing. For that love that picks me up and grounds me deeper.
So there's basically 3 things you need to remember: huge mixes, killer sounds, great vibes. So check out more of what Pockets is all about through vibecavestudios.com. We had our longtime friend, musician, songwriter, record producer, Devin Townsend in studio. This is a few years back now. Of course, you'll know him initially from Strapping Young Lad. I mean, just a punishing band back in the day. And then his solo career where he is all over the map. Hard rock, new age, ambient, full-on symphony orchestras. He is one of the best, no question. So check out what Devin said about career highlights.
If it ended now, okay, here's a career highlight. If it ended now, I still have buddies that would help me move. You know what I mean?
There you go.
It's true.
That's
I got friends that have got my back, man, through all this shit.
Right.
And it's like 30-year relationships, man. And it's like, I think if there's a litmus test for the fact that, yeah, I was an asshole back then and I messed this up and I got super high for a while and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, that's living.
Right?
That's living.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's people in my world now that are that still care enough about me to like tell me the truth is awesome.
Too true though, right? Like if you still have buddies that would be willing to help you move, like you've done something right. So you've known about Melissa Etheridge since 1988. Her debut album went number 22 on Billboard's 200. Her song Bring Me Some Water was nominated for a Grammy Award for the best rock vocal performance. She didn't win, but she did in 93 for her song Ain't It Heavy. She won another Grammy Award for Come to My Window. She sold over 6 million copies worldwide. So what is Melissa's career highlight?
I have had so many. It's tough to say. I would have to say, singing with Bruce Springsteen, definitely one. The Grammys of 2005, when I was able to step back on stage after, while being in treatment for cancer, that's probably the one that has had the most, that still has reverberations. People still come up and talk to me about that, and that's been 12 years ago.
If you're talking about influential rap bands, Run DMC has to be near the top. The first group in the genre to have a gold album, the first to be nominated for a Grammy Award. They were the first to earn a platinum record, the first to earn a multi-platinum certification, the first to have videos on MTV, the first to appear on American Bandstand, the first on the cover of Rolling Stone, the only hip-hop act to play at Live Aid in 85, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2009. Did I say has to be near the top or at the top? From all of that, listen to what DMC had to say about career highlights.
Meeting Sarah McLachlan, because her music saved my life. I was an alcoholic, metaphysical, spiritual, suicidal wreck who was about to kill himself. And this was 1993, I heard Sarah McLachlan's record, Angel. And when I heard that record, Angel, that was the only thing that would kept me from jumping off roofs. For one whole year, all I did was listen to Sarah McLachlan records. I got the pleasure of meeting her by going to a party that I didn't want to go to because my manager was like, let's keep Darryl busy. As long as we keep him busy, he won't kill himself. So my manager took me to Clive Davis Grammy party, and I got to meet Sarah McLachlan. And then 3 years after that meeting, I got to record a song with her. And just her music, her as a person. You know, I told her, the name of the record is Angel. You sound like an angel. People say you're an angel to me. You're an angel, but you're not an angel to me. You're God. Your music saved my life. And she looked at me and she said, thank you for telling me that, Darryl, because that's what music is supposed to do. And since that meeting, that is one of the first, that is one of the most prolific statements that is ingrained in me as an artist. That's what music is supposed to do. It's not about being rich and famous. It's about being money. It's about touching and saving people's lives.
And Steel Panther continues to conquer the world with catchy, tongue-in-cheek party songs, touring the world, girls ripping off their shirts on stage, partying backstage, playing to 75,000, 80,000 people at festivals. Their live show is simply one of the best. Just lots of fun, great musicianship. Their singer, Michael Starr, definitely had some thoughts on career highlights.
Each step of the way is a highlight. So like even when we were a cover band back in early 2000s, we were selling out the Viper Room. So at that moment, that was like the best ever. You know, we're on the Sunset Strip selling out the Viper Room. And then we go to the Roxy and start selling that out. And that, to me, in my career, was a huge success story for us. And then we went to even a bigger club called the Key Club. Double the capacity, sold that out every Monday. Another milestone. Then the House of Blues, played there until it closed down. We actually played there. We played more shows at the Hollywood Sunset House of Blues than any other band ever had played there.
Wow.
So that's a big milestone. And then to go play Download Festival in Donington in the UK to 75,000 people, 2 bands before Aerosmith on the main stage.
Wow.
Pretty big deal. Then to go play Wacken this year, we're going to play in Germany. It's a festival that holds 100,000 people. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I wish my penis would do that.
Toddcast Podcast musical guest visits are powered by Vibe Cave Studios in East Vancouver. Huge mixes, killer sounds, great vibes. Visit them at vibecavestudios.com.
best way to hit the slopes this winter is with the Cypress Mountain Sky Card. Visit cypressmountain.com for details.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
You'll know Australian Muay Thai fighter, 10-time world championship kickboxer John Wayne Parr as JWP, the gunslinger, retired from the sport in 2012, only to come back and fight the following year in 13 with a 3-fight deal with Power Play Promotions. Then came a 3-fight deal with Bellator Kickboxing in 16. It was around that time when JWP was a guest. After Bellator, you saw him sign with Risen Fight Federation. Then in February of this year, Parr signed a 6-fight contract with 1 championship. He's 2 fights into his current contract. And when JWP was a guest, he talked about career highlights, kids practicing martial arts, the shows that he was binge watching at the time, watching tape of opponents prior to fighting them, the struggle that it is to cut weight for a fight. And stop me if you've heard this before, JWP talked about the first time he became a world champion.
I've been dreaming about being a world champion from the age of 11. So it was a long time coming and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to try and accomplish that. So I fought against an Australian guy for my very first title, and then I had a second round knockout. And then I was very lucky to travel to Thailand 2 months later, and I fought and won my second world title in Bangkok in front of 100,000 people live on Thai TV in front of 20 million people.
Wow.
So that was probably one of my most special ones. I won 2 in Bangkok, so the other one was just as big as well. I won a $1 million baht a trophy from the Prime Minister and another world title again. So, to win Muay Thai titles in Bangkok, you know you're doing okay.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by FKP MMA, Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com.
Restless heart, don't fall apart. You've been hanging by a thread, woven seams in your head. It's a long time coming, baby, and I see you running. Maybe it's a long time coming, baby boy, baby boy. You're innocent, and I know that you've been hanging by a thread on the things that I've said. It's a long time coming, baby, and I see you running. Maybe it's a long time coming, baby boy, baby boy. We must begin to grow from within, to build up from the start, or we'll all fall apart. It's a long time coming, baby, and I see you running. Maybe it's a long time coming, baby boy, baby boy. Ba, 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 ba. Life tells the story, we must believe, we must believe, baby boy. It's a long time coming, baby, and I see you running. Maybe it's a long time coming, baby boy, baby boy, baby boy, baby boy, yeah.
You know, I got a text from Devin the other day, the singer of that band Wild Dove, and he was saying that, I'm eyeballing maybe a Matthew Good symbolistic white wall. I can't remember what he said, but it was one of those like, yeah, dude, come on. Like, man, the song Baby Boy, does that not sound like it's possibly even Matthew Good's, material, his repertoire? I'd be willing to bet you'll hear that one. You'll see that one live this Saturday, January 28th at our next podcast, Blue Light Sessions, the Blue Light Studio, East Vancouver. There's still some tickets left. Wild Dove, their song again, Baby Boy. We're only letting 60 people in the door. So grab them right now if you want to come. 20 bones through eventbrite.ca, BRITE, Eventbrite.ca. You can roll the dice and wait for the door if you'd like for next week. It's $25 at that point, but there's no guarantees, of course, that there will be tickets left. So hope to see you there. Played you The Harpoonist and The Axe Murderer and their excellent song called My Paradise. Saw those guys with the history of gunpowder about a month and a half, maybe 2 months back now at this point, at the Hollywood Theater in Kitsilano. Great room if you've never been. Amazing sound, fantastic sight lines. I've planted the idea of Harpoonist doing a podcast show this year, so hopefully we'll be able to get them to come out and hang out one night. So coming up in just a few minutes, listen to this, the Headstones bassist Trent Carr talking about being at the forefront of that explosion of bands in the 90s. And that is powered by our friends at Tedco RV Supplies out in Langley. RV service and repairs, ICBC accredited. Yes, check. You can find them online at Facebook and on Twitter. Tedco RV Supplies. First, more career highlight stories and some of our past sporting guests, all of whom are powered by Hand Over Hand Textiles in Vancouver. Naturally dyed goods for your home, for your body. And the beauty is they only use pure plant extracts, natural fibers. Mother Earth loves them. Great presence as well, of course, locally owned, locally operated. Find them through handoverhandtextiles.com. NHRA national event winner Alexis DeJoria has been at it since 2005. Starting in the super gas category, only took her 8 months to get her first win. She moved on to race in the top alcohol funny car, was the second woman to race under 4 seconds with a 3.997 second quarter mile at Pomona in California. Listen to Alexis talk about career highlights. Pretty cool.
Oh, gosh. My career highlight was winning the U.S. Nationals at Indianapolis, the 60th anniversary. It just doesn't get any better than that. And being able to do it in the most amazing fashion against John Force, the most winningest funny car driver in the history of NHRA, beating him in the finals, like waxing him on the tree. I mean, and I love John. This isn't a diss at all, but to do that against the greatest funny car driver to ever live, I mean, in the finals, to beat him in the finals, to win that race is, I mean, there's nothing better. And to be able to give that, you know, Wally to Connie Coletta, who I had the pleasure and, you know, to race for him was just incredible in itself. I mean, he's a legend. He's amazing. And he was the last one to win an Indy race, you know, on that team. So to be able to give him another Indy win was just really incredible.
Like that, it's got to taste good.
Yeah. And my whole family, their family was there too. My dad was there.
Awesome.
And this is the funniest thing. So I had won races before that, obviously, but he had never been there for a win. And that was his first win.
Amazing.
Like being with me, that was his first win, was the U.S. Nationals, and my husband was there, my kids were there. It was incredible.
You'll know MMA fighter Smooth Benson Henderson from fighting in Bellator MMA. Prior to that, longtime UFC fighter, the former UFC lightweight champ, former WEC lightweight champ, has big wins over big fighters like Nate Diaz, Cowboy Cerrone, Frankie Edgar, Jorge Masvidal.
You can take your pick. For me personally, I don't really have one. Like, I've had a lot of good experiences and a lot of amazing experiences, but I like to. Normally, I take that question back to who's ever asking. I ask them what their favorite career thing of mine was, and I say I go with that one.
Right, right, because there's so many, is what you're saying.
For me, I had so many, and they're all really cool. Like, I appreciate each one for what it's worth, but like, I don't know, like, they're cool. I like them all, but normally I ask the person like which one their favorite is, which one of mine is their favorite, and I go with that one.
We'll stick with MMA for a sec. You'll know model Ariane Celeste as a longtime UFC Octagon girl who's been on the cover of Maxim, FHM, Sports Illustrated, Playboy. In fact, her Playboy issue was the top-selling issue that year, no surprise. She co-hosted Overhaulin' back in 2014, 2015, has over 4 million people following on social media.
My career highlight? I honestly think it's just like traveling the world, because I know I came from a very, you know, not rich family. We're all like working class family, and for me to be out of this country and see so many beautiful places and meet so many beautiful people and be able to experience that is just like so. It has been such an experience. I never thought that I'd even get out of Vegas. So that has been probably the highlight.
Yeah.
And being on the cover of Playboy was pretty cool too.
And from the UFC to the CFL, when Boseko Lokombo was a guest back in 2018, he was a linebacker for the BC Lions. The first day of the 19 free agency, he signed a 1-year contract with the Alouettes. He played linebacker and safety for the Owls, and Lokombo's playing rights were traded to the Toronto Argonauts at the start of 2020. He's now back playing with the BC Lions, was named the CFL's most outstanding Canadian in the 21 season. Some very big accolades. So what's Boseco's career highlight?
I think probably going, having the chance to experience the NFL a bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you knew this, but the Ravens have always been my favorite team because of one simple guy, Ray Lewis.
Okay.
And when I signed with the Ravens, we during our regular season back in 2017, we had a game in London, and it was versus the Jaguars, and they did a little kind of community service work thing in London, and Ray Lewis ended up showing up to that community service, and
nice.
Like I was starstruck, because I've been following football ever since I got into football. He was my favorite player. He's been my favorite player. Now he's retired. Kind of doing his own thing. I even bought his book, all that, and to actually be in the same field as him and to see him and to talk to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was probably the highlight of my career because it was somebody I looked up to for a long time, and I shared something with him, and it just it was special.
Red Truck Beer, delivered fresh, the official beer of the Toddcast podcast.
A game of life you play. Just tell them what they want. Contradiction steps away your name in lights and gold. Yeah, you're always right. Now the lights all rise and we're sold. As long as we're controlled, you'll get it sold. No matter what we're told, you'll get it, regret it sold. One size fits all you say. Just call it what you want. It's the same old game you play. You're all the streets are gold. Just give them what they want, but the lines you rise and we're sold. As long as we're controlled, you'll get it sold. No matter what we're told, you'll get it, regret it sold.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca. And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
Formed in Hamilton, Ontario in '89, Headstones were an integral part of the 90s rock scene here in Canada, with constantly touring, and you heard them a lot on radio. They have a bunch of hit songs. Between 96 and 16, they were among the top 35 best-selling Canadian bands in Canada, which is super impressive when you consider that for a good portion of that time, they were on a hiatus between 2003 and 2011. During that time, members formed other bands. Singer Hugh Dillon became an accomplished actor, and when Headstones bassist Trent Carr was a guest in early 2017, they were close to putting out the album Little Army. Since then, they've released People Skills and just this year, Flight Risk. Now, Trent talked about being a comic book fan, making it as a band now versus then. He talked about touring and family, seeing the Osmonds for his first concert. Career highlights came up, and Trent talked about Headstones being at the forefront of the explosion of bands in the 90s. Listen to this.
It was cool. Like, when I look back on it now, it's like, yeah, we were a part of that. That was a fun, exciting time.
Hell yeah.
You think about how many other Canadian bands there are, and putting us in those categories. And it's funny, like back then we weren't really thought of as much of a part of that scene, actually. Like when we were in it, we were sort of very underdog and on the outside, and like we weren't getting played on the mainstream cool radio stations. Like we weren't played on the Edge in Toronto very much. We weren't, that is a huge factor in becoming a bigger Canadian band. Actually, it's like one of the biggest stations in Canada. And so like back then we felt way more on the outside, and I'd say underappreciated a bit. We definitely had our hardcore fans, but you know, we didn't feel like we were a part of the elite Canadian music scene.
Right.
Put it that way.
Always grinding, hustling all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were always. But it's cool when we have the reunion coming back. People are starting to talk to us as if we were that, and you go, yeah, well, that's cool that everyone's sort of giving us respect now and all that. But well, it kind of really wasn't there before.
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
When I had you here, Lord knows I didn't see what a gift had been bestowed on me. I took love for granted, 'cause I thought you'd always be around. But nowadays in the ground, you're nowhere to be found. See, I'ma beg you, if you let me, I'm on borrowed time, don't forget me. I'll be blue, blue, blue till you come home. I'ma beg you, take back goodbye, borrow the stars out from your eyes. Oh, for one more night, would that be alright? When I had you here, Lord knows I didn't see what a sweet gift was bestowed on me. Lord, it was bestowed on me. I took love for granted, empty-handed. Now I look around, but you nowhere to be found. Lord, when will you come around? I'ma beg you, if you let me, I'm on borrowed time, don't forget me. I'll be blue, blue, blue till you come home. I'ma beg you, take back goodbye, borrow the stars out from your eyes. Oh, for one more night, would you be mine? Time, don't forget me. I'm still picking up the pieces of my heart. I'ma beg you, take back goodbye, borrow the stars out from your eyes. Oh, for one more night, would that be alright?
Oh, yeah. Now picture that with about 60 of your closest friends at a very, very cool room in East Vancouver. Her name is Tanya Aganaba. Great song called Borrowed Time, and perhaps she will play you that one roughly a month away from today. In fact, February 25th, another podcast, Blue Light Sessions. Tickets only $20 right now. Again, through eventbrite.ca. Simple search of Toddcast podcast. It will find our stuff. It's an acoustic night, a live interview. You get to ask questions as well. It's going to be a great night and can't wait. You know, in fact, we did a show that was very similar to this, I guess a few years back now. pre-COVID, and she killed it. A phenomenal player, a gifted storyteller. I played you a new song for Not in Public called One Size Fits All. Great sound, big sound coming out of those guys. Going to definitely be keeping an eye on their socials for a show, because we definitely want to see these guys live. You got a feeling they're absolutely going to bring it. Speaking of the live music, check out the indie scene at toddhancock.ca. We've posted some local shows that you should really try to be at. If you're playing a show or seeing a show and it's indie, let us know about it. We'll post it up at the website. That's brought to you by Mystic Rhythms Rehearsal Studios. Over 40 years experience in the music industry. The pandemic has just made them stronger. Great jam spaces, top-notch gear. Every band loves it. Check it out through mysticrhythms.ca. Okay, our final career highlight stories from a handful of past entertainment guests, all of whom are powered by Sacred Meds, Canada's best craft cannabis and psilocybin dispensary. Say that 5 times fast. They deliver to anywhere in Canada. I don't know if I've mentioned that or not. I usually get my order within a couple, 3 days at the very most. The website is stacked, of course, cannabis and psilocybin, fun mushrooms, but edibles and hash and oils and pipes and you name it. It is insane. And don't forget, at registry, mention that you heard about them through this podcast to unlock a hidden category. Yeah, what? A hidden category on their website with the code Toddcast. That code also gets you 10% off when you check out, by the way. Sacredmeds.com. Sacredmeds.com. Comedian Brent Butt is one of Canada's best. He's been at it for close to 35 years. You'll best know probably Brent from his role as Brent on Corner Gas. He's won 4 Canadian Comedy Awards, was honored with the Comedy Network Sir Peter Ustinov Award for his significant body of comedic work.
You know, after we did the series, we did 6 seasons, 107 episodes, the notion, we all kind of like the idea of coming back in a few years and doing a movie, doing an actual theatrical movie of Corner Gas. And so that was always on our radar, and that happened 5 years after the final live action show aired. We made this movie. It took us about 2.5 years to write it because it was a very tricky thing to write, but at the end of the day, I'm really happy with the movie, and the response to the movie was way more than anybody expected. Like, we were physically selling out theaters. Mm-hmm. None of us expected that. I remember getting a call from my brother in Calgary saying, I'm trying to go to your stupid movie and I can't get a ticket. It was like, am I supposed to be upset by that? Or
right.
So anyway, the network approached us after the success of the film, and they said, you know, obviously the appetite is still there. People still want to see Corner Gas. Do you have any interest in doing more episodes? And we just kind of didn't. We thought, you know, just coming back and doing more of the same would feel, you know, it would very much feel like kind of a rut. But, you know, it's a nice offer, and the notion of being employed is always, you know, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, you know, if my partners and we started talking about this. If we were to do something, what would we do? And that's when the idea of animation came up, because we had talked about it once before of doing an animated scene during the live action show. We did an animated Lego version of Corner Gas, like a scene in one of the episodes.
Right.
And we had talked about doing a regular animated thing. It never came together. It wasn't practical, but so anyway, when we started kicking around this idea of what could we do, that came up. It was like, we started revisiting the notion of an animated Corner Gas.
As someone who has lived in Vancouver for most of my life, I think it's super cool that so many fun shows and series are filmed here. Like, isn't it neat when you see a scene set up and it's near where you live, or maybe you drive by a major motion picture that's being filmed downtown. It's on the viaduct or whatever. And when we had a chance to have on Supergirl actor David Harewood, of course, we jumped at the chance. You'll also know him from Homeland, where he was the CIA's counterterrorism director. David is a master of the craft, trained at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. His body of work goes back to 1993. Listen to what he cites as a career highlight. Touchingly beautiful.
Wow, career highlight. I mean, it has to be Homeland. I mean, literally, the year I got Homeland, the year before I got Homeland, my best mate in the world, who used to kind of make me laugh and tell me all these, we just used to laugh all the time, and he was the one person who was convinced that I was going to make it, and would always just tell me, look, don't worry about it, you're going to make it. I've got no fear about it whatsoever. Absolutely convinced about it. And on my daughter's birthday, we were about to walk out, go and get some food for my daughter's birthday. I got this phone call, and he died. He had a routine knee operation, and he was dead, and it just completely destroyed me.
Wow.
I was kind of like, I just lost my kind of rock, and I kind of was heavily grieving for about a year. I didn't work for 9 months. I just lost all my mojo, lost my confidence. I just couldn't do it. I was just convinced I was going to go under. I couldn't pay my mortgage. I was fucked. I had no money, and I was very nearly broke. And my manager phoned me up and said, look, I've got this job. They want your tape. Would you put yourself on tape? And I refused it. I said, no, I am not in the mood. And then about a month later, he said, look, Dave, they're still asking, would you really put yourself on tape? I said, I haven't got it. He said, just put yourself, just do it. He said, just put yourself on tape. Just one time, just raise yourself and just do it. And I did it. And then about a month later, I got a phone call from my agent saying, congratulations. I said, what's that? He said, you just got Homeland.
Awesome.
And I put the phone down. I said to my wife, I fucking got it. She said, what? I said, I got that job, Homeland. And my wife started to tear up. And I said, what's up? She said, do you know what day it is today? I went, no. She went, it's Louis' birthday. It's my mate's fucking birthday.
Come on.
I swear to God, on his birthday the next year, and I have not stopped working since.
Wow. Dude, I literally have my arm hair is standing on end right now.
The dude, from being broke one year and grieving and lost, the very next year, we won everything. So it won the Golden Globes, it won everything. So I was 1 year broke, just absolutely, I'm down to my last dollar. And then the next year I'm at parties with fucking movie stars and TV stars and walking past Charlize Theron and Leonardo DiCaprio and De Niro, and I'm like in this room with all these fucking megastars, and I'm just sitting there thinking, Jesus Christ, it can happen that quickly.
What a story.
I just kind of thought to myself, this is from being really low to being really high. So that was my that year winning everything with Homeland and the Emmys and the Golden Globes, and every time I went down that red carpet, I was just thinking, Jesus Christ, if only they knew. So
wow.
those are my highlights.
Living in Canada in the late 80s, early 90s, it was impossible for you not to know who Ed the Sock was. A talking cigar on Much Music, always pushing boundaries, calling out celebrities, witty and harsh, green hair, green eyebrows, a scowl, a very sharp tongue.
I started on Much Music and City TV in 1994, left in 2008. That's a lot of time, and a lot of highlights, and a lot of lowlights. So trying to think of what did I enjoy the most, it's pretty difficult to figure out what I liked the most. It's easier to figure out the people I liked the least, but mostly I didn't pay that much attention. It was just a job. I went in, I did my shtick, I went the hell home.
Yeah, fair enough.
But highlights, I really liked being at Woodstock 99.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Because I was live on the air. I was the person, and this was noted in the media, I was the person who first said, this is about to go straight to hell. And it did. And I was the one who predicted it, which, that's sort of odd notoriety. But I watched that for 3 days in blistering heat in a venue that was an old military base, so it had no shade, no place people could skulk in the shadows, and people were charging $10 for small bottles of water. I knew this was about to boil over.
Yeah.
And that afternoon, when they started knocking over the outhouses and body surfing in the crap, I knew this was Lord of the Flies. And so being a part of something that's actually unfolding in front of you historically, That was great fun. But generally, just being on Much Music, being on a place where they let me say whatever I wanted. Nobody spoke to me beforehand saying, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to say about this? Nobody ever asked me. No one told me not to talk about something. No one gave me hell after. Well, maybe they gave me hell after, but it didn't really matter because going forward, there was no rules. They respected me enough to let me do what I wanted to do, say what I wanted to say, and they allowed the other VJs of my generation to be who they were. They hired people who they knew, who they trusted, whose personalities they liked, and said, go do your thing. And this is the thing that's gone missing in those last 10 years. Mm-hmm. As more and more people, media figures and politicians, became very tightly controlled about what they were saying or allowed to say. This is why people around the world are starting to cotton to the appeal of an idiot like Trump, because Trump says what he means and means what he says. So I think people are attracted to that as opposed to the crap that comes out of his mouth. My job is to come back and do what I always did, which was say what I mean and mean what I say, but do it with some frickin' brains.
And you'll know Sangeeta Patel as an ET Canada host and as HDTV's Home to Win host. She started off as a presenter on the Weather Network. In 2014, she made Hello Magazine Canada's 50 Most Beautiful People list, one of the most recognizable Canadian celebrities. Well, check out what Sangeeta said about career highlights.
I'm one of those people who lives for the moment. It doesn't matter what it is. I get excited by everything and anything. But, shoot, I don't know. Do you like in terms of meeting someone or just overall?
In general. What popped to your mind when I said that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just so blessed. I don't know. Mm-hmm. One of the coolest things is that I'm able to connect with. One of the things I love to do is interviews, and having the opportunity to connect with these guys it's pretty cool. And a lot of stars would say reporters or say they really connect with people, but you find those moments, and so I like creating those moments. So for me, maybe, oh boy, it's tough. The Rock and I are, we message each other. We're friends. He knows my name, and
that's awesome.
It's kind of cool. It is. I think of him as like an older brother kind of thing, but he's been my mentor when it comes to fitness, because fitness is such a big part of my life, and for him to acknowledge the amount of work I do, so it's something like that. Maybe like that's really cool to me. So I don't know. Yeah, there's so many great moments. Mm-hmm.
Tough to pick for sure.
Yeah, it's hard. Being at the Golden Globes this year during the Me Too change, I don't know. There's so many. That's a tough one. You're gonna have to come back to me on that one.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I look back at my career and I'm like, man, I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not quite like you, but I had a good run here in Vancouver for 15 years. So
yeah, it's a tough one.
It is. Yeah.
Everything's been great. I've been blessed. I'm lucky for where I am right now. Even Home to Win, to do that, that's a highlight. Being able to give away a house to a family that deserves it at the end of her.
That's
so
insane.
Cool.
That's
the coolest.
Amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And I'm the only one who knows, there's 50 of us out there, and I'm the only one who knows who won the house. And so my director's in my ear, and he goes, okay, this is the one time you get to deliver this line. Don't F it up.
Right.
And
we are not double taking this.
No, don't cry.
Right.
If your temperature, your lips is trembling, try to get rid of that. Take your moment. And that's just okay, maybe that's the highlight, is to give away a house, $1 million house. That's just insane.
Entertainment guest visits are powered by Sacred Meds, Canada's best craft cannabis and psilocybin dispensary. Visit sacredmeds.com and mention you heard about them through the podcast to open up a hidden category on their website. And use the code TODCAST at checkout for 10% off your order.
To life. He was warm, he came around like he was dignified. He showed me what it was to cry.
Well, you know how I feel about a good cover song. Love it, You Big Idiot. Their cover of Natalie Imbruglia's Torn. You can catch them next month, Friday, February 17th. They're playing at the Rickshaw Theater, opening up for Mad Caddies. The Core and the High Sides are also playing. Very good show. Not that that should come as a surprise for you, knowing that, of course, Mo and his team at the Rickshaw have been killing it forever. As we'll put this podcast to bed, hope you liked hearing about our guests' career highlights. 12 of them sharing stories. Normally, of course, our normal week-to-week, normal quote-unquote, 3 guests a week. We release them on Tuesdays. My name is Todd Hancock. If you're not already, you can subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, comment, and rate the podcast. Search it out through Toddcast Podcast. Of course, we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram as well. Follow along. It's not the same content on all 3 platforms. We do our best to try to mix it up, or if it is, it's at least positioned differently. Of course, a big thanks to all of our fantastic sponsors. Big love to Dara and the team at Citywide Mortgage Specialists. Our title sponsor. I've known Dara for a few years now, and the idea of teaming up with them, knowing how good their team is, and the fact that everyone needs a mortgage at some point, or you should be shooting at a goal like that. It's because of businesses like Citywide Mortgage Specialists, Blue Light Studio, Tedco RV Supplies, Mystic Rhythms, Milano Coffee, that will continue making these podcasts for you to listen to. We're getting roughly 25,000 plays a month, by the way, getting close and maybe getting up to 30 actually lately. Just enough to keep everyone happy, certainly me, certainly the sponsors anyway. And that's truly what the main thing, honestly. If I'm happy, they're happy, you're listening, that's great. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. It's like we're the Costco hot dog in that way. Starting sponsorship rates have not changed since we launched in 2015. What? Contact info at the homepage. Maybe we'll see you soon. Have a beer, have a coffee, see what we can do together. All right, till next time, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
You've been listening to the Toddcast podcast, powered by Citywide Mortgage Services, dedicated to helping you find the best mortgage rates. Available 7 days a week at citywidemortgage.ca.
You've watched them from the outside your whole life. On TV, on stage, on the cover. The success that always looks like it happened to someone on a different planet. But what if it didn't? I'm Evelyn, and I've spent over 25 years in entertainment, producing for some of the biggest names in Hollywood. And here's what I learned. The distance between you and them, it's a lot shorter than anyone's letting on. On my podcast, Reppin', I sit down with the people you've been watching, and I ask them who they actually are. Not the brand, the person. Where they started, what it cost them, what almost broke them. Their grit, their courage, their resilience, and the lessons they've learned, it's all yours for the taking. Reppin', wherever you listen.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you're going to love our podcast, Disney Countdown. Hi, I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And Biscuits, I'm Jeremy, aka Jarendell, and we are the hosts of the hit Disney podcast, Disney Countdown.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show, right, Jeremy?
Ooh, girl, you know we are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you are looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, please, not that music. That music gives me nightmares from my childhood.
Could we get something a little bit lighter, some lighter music here?
Are you a fan of true crime TV shows?
And what about Unsolved Mysteries, the show that jump-started all of our love of true crime?
I'm Ellen Marsh.
And I'm Joey Taranto.
And we host I Think Not, a true crime comedy podcast covering some of the wildest stories from your favorite true crime campy TV shows all the way to Unsolved Mysteries.
Baby, you will laugh, you will cry, you'll think about true crime in a whole new way, and you'll also ask yourself, who gave these people mics?
New episodes of I Think Not are released every Wednesday with bonus episodes out every Thursday on Patreon.
And every Monday, you can listen to our True Crime Rundown, where we go over the top true crime headlines of the week.
So come and join us wherever you listen to your podcasts.